Hi. I wanted to go further on the explanation from my last video, because I really found that way of seeing things very helpful in clarifying and giving opportunity to really release and let go on a deeper way. So what I wanted to talk about today is that on a general basis, and not it's not particularly spiritual or whatever, we all want to feel good, right? And feeling good means feeling happy, blissful, spontaneous, creative and free, mostly. Can be other words, and that really we can see in the little kid, which has those quality of spontaneity. And the more we grow in age, the more we store contraction, resistance, no trauma, and those contraction we store them because every trauma is a sort of situation of helplessness. Something is forced onto your will in a way or another, more or less violently. That's what the trauma is. You don't have the control of the situation. You're not, it's like you seem to lose the oneness, and you become a separate entity that is attacked by something around. And that's my view of the trauma, and that starts the contraction resistance, and our way of saying no. I want, even for things, I want to have it my way. I want this, but this way. I don't want what is present, I want something else. And in it is embedded the self-worth lack, because you could not do it the way you want it. So there is a constatation of inadequacy in it, in the helplessness. That's what is really hidden into those contraction. Those things we could not feel because it was very violent when we were very young, and we store them deep and deep and deeper, and they got reactivated by a situation that common trigger the initial type of contraction that is there. So on one side we have that life force that can, that's how it works, that goes through, and that can be so seemingly blocked by those resistance. And when this happens, we feel low, we feel depressed, we don't feel that good, and it doesn't feel natural. That's why we don't want to feel that, you see. And the mind, as I said in the other video, the mind comes with solution for that. You don't want to feel, because we don't want to go inside those cluster of contraction. We just feel off. We feel, when it's triggered, we feel something is not good. I'm going to feel separate again or something. I'm going to feel inadequate. So I don't want to even touch that sensation or that emotion. So the mind comes with explanation. That's because of this in the outside world, that situation, that person to blame, because, and then it provides a conversation of let's fix it. let's change, let's control, let's have a strategy. So all your attention goes into the mind, and then you get a relief from the contraction feeling inside the body, right? But you're not in the blissful state, you see? You did not go to feel the uncomfortable contraction. You went into the mind, and the mind provides you with all those activities to do and to not feel. But it's not quite free, it's not quite blissful, right? When there is no trigger, when you're very lucky, when you're in love, when something is for a moment like so free and the energy goes through, then you feel wow, so blissful. But when you go onto the mind, and the more we age, the more the mind is in a loop, so it will come with more story and more things to do and more place to avoid, and you see that it's like a second, third layers. They become an onion of danger, worries, and stuff to fix. And you have to avoid places, to not meet the people that could trigger you when you don't like this, because when you eat it, you could feel contracted, you don't even remember why, and then it becomes like a dance of limitation. You have to avoid that tree because it makes you remember of a tree when you were young, and something happened and you don't want to, so it to trigger that contraction about the tree, and your life become like a minefield of things to avoid or to want, to make sure that you don't touch those resistance and contraction inside the body, right? That's the thing that is happening, that I found so clear, because that's actually where all the letting go, surrender comes, you see? Is that, and quieting the mind. The mind is coming with solution for you to to walk the path of less resistance in the middle of your mind field. So that's why you're so busy, and it will come with other solution and other strategy and other situation, new situation that maybe you should avoid because it could trigger something we don't know. So you see that game that is at play, it's just like all your energy, all your attention is into feeling comfortable. You lost sight of your blissful creativity because now you're engaged into circulating your comfort zone and making sure everything is okay and no one is entering it, nothing that could trigger any contraction. So it can become tiring, because it takes the energy you put in it, that's your life force, you see. So it's all on that project of avoiding stuff and just feeling comfortable, meaning not having to feel the contraction inside your body space. See? And more story, and you're more engaged with imagination of this say that, what that meaning, and looking for meanings and things, because you have to be very vigilant. A trigger could come from any situation, okay? And you're afraid of what you have, those emotions inside of you that could explode in a way, and you could not handle them. So we spend life trying to avoid our old content and making the life a labyrinth of insanity just to avoid deeply meeting those resistance. That's what for me is so clarifying, because once you see that, you can say, okay, I'm dedicated to my comfort, and my comfort is resumed, summed up into not feeling the uncomfortable emotion sensation. Those are going to be tainted with fear, shame, all those we call negative emotion on top of it. But when you go looking through behind fear, there is helplessness, anger, everything. You come back to that. I am separated from everything. What I am. That's what is hidden inside the contraction resistance. So the real question to ask yourself is my life of avoidance and strategy fulfilling? Or do I want to access more to liberate my life force, energy, whatever, authenticity? That's just a word. What do I want? Bliss, freedom, or a comfort? That's the thing. Because if you have enough of the dance of trigger avoidance, you can start very simply by meeting the discomfort inside, because it's inside. It's not something outside that you don't know, that is made of something else. It's your own texture. It's things that you just like pushed down into you, for lack of better word, but you never looked at, you see? So you're afraid of what is in it. And what is in it, we know. It's a kind of helplessness, anyway. It cannot be anything else, but it will have different texture, different way of blossoming and revealing itself. So, if you really have enough of the dance of the triggers and the nonsensical life, which is avoiding ropes in your garden because there could be snakes, you come back to, okay, I'm gonna meet uncomfortable stuff for once and see what happens. See? And you don't have to go commando on it. You can just like open to it and see if you can go further or if you cannot, because it's in you. If you feel like you cannot go any further than the surface level of the story, you can say, okay, there's my mind telling me a story about it. Again, that I could go in the woods finding the culprit, but I know I'm not going because I don't need that solution now. I don't want the comfort. I want to see what's inside. And you go. And you go in a discovery quest inside. And the other thing you can do that helps as well is not taking on more contraction, more stuff from the mind, because the mind, I was giving you solution all your life, come, as I said, layer after layers, and now is giving you more stuff to store, like you're gonna be uncomfortable with whatever, and you will want to things to be different. Those new resistance, you see, you can let go. Don't take on more resistance, like maybe you're waiting for the doctor and he's late, and you will feel restless, and then you start to have hunger or something. So those bad stuff, those resistance to life, like my way, I don't want that, I feel like it's against me, and then no, I'm just here. I don't want to take that this to come and reinforce my my already hidden sensation of being not respected or whatever, because it's not. It's just time, and I'm just here. You see, it's you just accept what is happening as face value, without the commentary that says that means something about you, because that's how you store the contracted energy, contractive and contracted energy inside those resistance. They should not make me wait because I'm someone special. I'm upset because when I go for an ice cream they don't have the flavor I like. Just notice they don't have the flavor you like, then take another. You don't have to be upset about it. Don't store the upsetness inside. Stop storing anything like this. Just see if you can do something about it. You can go buy your ice cream another place, or you can have this one, but you don't have to make it a struggle inside. So you start to stop fueling your resistance by new one on the same kind of thing. You stop fueling it, and then you relax, and you can have a look at what is already in store. You open the pantry and you look at all the bocals you have. It's your stuff. It cannot bite you. It's gonna be uncomfortable, but then you can see that being uncomfortable doesn't mean anything about your value. You see? Just discomfort that is present. You don't have to identify with it, as you did actually when you were trying to avoid it, because there was that helplessness, that inadequacy that is actually running the show. You want to avoid it, but it's running the show. You want to avoid feeling it, but all your life is dedicated to avoiding it. So it's running your show. So now you know it's there. And you know as well, even if you don't know it all the way down, you know it's just a prism. It's just like a mirage, you see, because there is no little you inside of it. That you know already, but you have still those like empty shell of contraction that actually are hiding an helplessness that is revealing the absence of the me. So, to sum up my tech today, see that your life force, everything you want, your bliss, whatever your awakening, whatever you call it, is just like seemingly blocked by resistance and contraction. And they are uncomfortable by per se, by nature. And your mind is always trying to get you to not feel them for your own good. So now you want to see them, you leave the mind with all the story about the situation outside that would be the cause, because you know it's not the cause, it's just a solution for you to feel comfortable. Remember that? So you can, because you know that, it's easier to let the mind do its blah blah without grabbing on it. So it's less of a inconvenience. You see, it's easier to not being taken away by the story it provides you. You know its nature, you know its function, so you don't go. And then you feel inside, when it comes up, what the contraction is really about, what the resistance is really about. You see it and you relax. You don't have to do anything about it. You let it go its way. What you do is you stop holding it down. Just open your hands and you let it go on its own rhythm. And you don't take new ones. You don't take new upsetting. When you feel a trigger coming that is like touching an old resistance, you recognize it. Oh, that's triggering something that is me already. Do I need to go into the mind loop, finding solution to avoid that and storing it again? No. So I'm not following the mind. And then what happens? You get more, you free your energy from all those activity of avoidance, and you get more energy to help you actually declutter your resistance cupboards. It goes easier and you get like more vitality, more creativity, more joy, because that's just a mechanism. It's a mechanic, so that's the way it works. So you cannot fail about it, you see. So 2 steps. See for what it is, mind solution, that comfort that you wanted, that you don't need. You can be them, even if it's uncomfortable. You don't have to go with the uncomfort and say, I am uncomfort. It's just those resistance. You see them for what they are. You don't take on more, and you let it release gently. See you next time.